Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself spiritual awakening for divine in the flesh, where together we learn how to surf, hack, and navigate the ups and downs of the totality of human experience, creating a new earth beyond the limitations of this perception managed reality matrix of five senses, having discovered our true divine creative natures in our true sensual sensorial universe of seven senses, composing formless into form outside of the matrix in the true quantum field creation field universe. Before we get started, please do give this video a thumbs up. Please also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the off setting, so when I upload videos, YouTube will let you know. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern. My name is Maddie OS, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest selves, your bestest and brightest light, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider and wider still. Hello, my love bugs, my honey bunnies, my boobalas. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty, episode 303. And in today's video, I offer my 2 cents from personal experience to touch upon some queries from viewers who've reached out to me regarding panic and anxiety attacks of late, and what their symptoms are, and how our old triggers and sensitivities can be easily harvested by demonic entities and run your life amok. Now, to be transparent, with all of my tools and years of practice and doing the great work and doing shadow work, I am not impervious to getting overwhelmed and upset. Though I'm getting better and better at allowing those feelings and not suppressing them. Now, my anxiety levels tend to vary and tend to become more pronounced with loss. Loss for me is a huge trigger, and over the last 8 years, even though I've met the love of my life and I have deep long-term friendships, along with developing new meaningful friendships, I've lost everything and everyone dear to me. I've had to relocate to another country and come back. I've lost my best friend and longtime assistant to a weird staph infection. Nearly all of my college friends have passed over the last couple of years to COVID-related complications, vaxxed, unvaxxed, along with several of my dearest lovey-doves taking their lives, including my stepdaughter this past May, and several more friends, and even a young woman whom I helped birth as her mother's Lamaze partner many, many years ago, passed away from breast cancer just before Thanksgiving. And just the other day, my greatest mentor, Prilly, passed away. Now, recently, I received an onslaught of really bad and sad news from my remaining friends. We're talking terminal cancer being the main topic, the random conversations about aging and dying, and frightening MRI results and sonograms and such. And this is when my video on shadow work hell was just released. Now, during that night, I was overcome by feelings and energies of dread and despair, doom and gloom. Now, these are not typical of me. I mean, you guys know the work that I do. I'm not easily rattled, but I was rattled. And even amidst heavy loss, I'm usually not rattled, but I was rattled. And I tend to navigate sadness and grief well enough, but this was something different. This was in a whole league of its own. Now, I couldn't catch my breath suddenly, and feelings of impending doom became more and more intense and visceral in my body. And it was weird because I was already in bed, falling asleep, and all of a sudden I started to shake. My core temperature dropped suddenly and alarmingly. I was freezing, I was shivering, my teeth were chattering. I started to convulse, and I had enough wherewithal to wake up my partner, who was pleading with me to control my breathing as he retrieved his heavy sleeping bag to cover me. Now, oddly enough, like I said, I had presence of mind. I was lucid and well aware that there was something very, very wrong and very off about what I was experiencing. And all the while, I started getting these bizarre images of my friends suffering in their demise through cancer and murder, wow. I mean, it was a cacophony of fucked up, my friends, and I couldn't shake it. Even images of demons infected my psyche. I even saw my partner dying a horrific death. Now, it was my beloved prompting me to come back to him and breathe with him, with his arms and body wrapped around the entirety of my body, with the Uber sleeping bag on top of me, in addition to all the blankets and the heavy comforter. So I was in good hands. Now, it took every bit of my strength, whatever little strength that I had, to focus on controlling my breathing and coming back to myself, because I was like way off in la la land somewhere, and not a good la la land, as it was clear in my mind that I had been hijacked by something very evil and very negative. Now, Christopher told me it took over 30 minutes for me to control my breathing, and eventually this led me to falling asleep. Now, in the morning, I was back to myself like nothing had happened. And then I got a reality check, my loves, and discovered that several of my friends had passed during that night and early that morning. Okay. Now, still, the creme de la creme came from an email of a subscriber student of mine in New Zealand who reported a dozen horrific and vile comments from a comment troll on my YouTube channel, on the video, under the video regarding shadow work hell. Now, YouTube, to their credit, deleted the comments right away, which were, get this, evil spells calling for my demise and death in different horrific fashions. Like, holy fuck, what the fuck, kids? Now, my focus on my grief and loss and the potential loss of my friends and my history of losses, what happened is it lowered my frequency overall. And that made me energetically visible and accessible to lower astral plane demonic entities. Okay. Now, this comment troll fit the bill to be able to, with great evil intent, psychically attack me through its words and these spells and incantations. Now, this was a great lesson for me to be more mindful, my loves, of my reactivity to familiar traumas and match my history, and choose to be vigilant and keep my focus attention on my bestest self-talk, seeing myself and seeing my reality, along with seeing others and their reality in the bestest possible light, even when it gets tricky, especially when it gets tricky and infiltrated by the medical cartels and the other shitstems of doom and gloom within the matrix. Okay, so here's a review of my symptoms. Okay, uncontrollable crying and weeping, inconsolable despair about my personal life and the state of the world. Doom and gloom, everyone I love is dead or dying, including my partner. Freezing cold chills, trembling, shaking from feeling like I'm ice cold, which I was. My heart was racing, had palpitations, shortness of breath, or feeling like I was being smothered, not choked, smothered. Chest pain, particularly on the left side of my chest, dizziness, lightheadedness, this sort of derealization or depersonalization, like I was forced to watch a very scary movie and I couldn't close my eyes. I couldn't get away. I felt tortured. I had these fears of losing control, that I was dying. I felt numbness and this burning tingling throughout my entire body. And I was told that I was going into shock, according to my medically oriented friends. I had the cold sweats. Now, this panic attack, my loves, was the worst I'd ever experienced in my entire life. And I'm thankful that I was not alone. I'm also grateful that I had enough self-awareness and presence of mind to realize that I was being compromised by an outside entity, harvesting my emotions and vulnerabilities and amplifying them to generate more and more and get me to spin out. Know thyself, my loves. I suggest that you all figure out ways to monitor your well-being amidst times of elevated stress and sensitivities, particularly if you've been doing a lot of shadow work, which can trigger old wounds and get you to doubt yourself. get you to lower your frequency and focus in and ruminate over stuff, or abandon your shadow work altogether. Now, learn to control your breathing, my loves. I know people call it breath work. I'm not down with that, okay? Breath is life. Breathe in life and breathe in love. Breathe out life, breathe out life. Love, okay? Breath can be work if you're under a psychic attack or triggered into another time-space continuum. Tend to your panic and ask for help from your beloved or trusted friend or medical psychological professional if that is your scene and your orientation. I make no judgments. Now, my good friend Tomas Sheridan posted about the oncoming extreme psychic weather warning, okay? He wrote, "We are literally entering a supernatural psychic turmoil supercell. I have seen nothing like this since late 2018-2019 hysteria, and we know what that manifested in early 2020. Cosmic turbulence." Now, below are links to two of Tomas's videos on Corazon 333, Renfielding, and its impact. So those links are below. Check them out. So shields up, kids. Know what the fuck you're dealing with. Do not underestimate the treachery of trolls and their obsession with bringing you to ruin, sliming you, slandering you, etc. Keep your triggers in check and be vigilant, okay? Do not go to sleep. We are analog. We are not digital, and we interface with numerous digitized portals that have bred digitized entities, okay? These things are for real, and you have to watch it. The fuckeries and the fusserias began for me on that Friday, the 18th of November, and still, with the help of my partner and breathing and reconnecting, I prevailed before the witching hour on Saturday morning by regaining my focused attention, reclaiming the entirety of my being by breathing in life and love and breathing out life and love. Fuck off, entities, and be gone. Do not put up with psychic vampires, trolls, or any bad behavior from friends, family, acquaintances, or strangers. Yes, your Facebook friends, for the most part, anybody on social media, unless you know them, they're strangers, okay? Strangers, beware. Create and maintain boundaries. Engage the no contact ever again, or at least no eye contact ever again. If you are in a have-to position to interact because of shared custody of children, and some of you may need to grow a pair and stare down those fucking grifters, okay? Freely engage the block button. Do not become energy food or a tool for these demonic motherfuckers, okay? I kid you not. Keep your eye on your prize. Focus on your life and your creativity, your beautiful, loving, friendly relationships. Cultivate those. Do not indulge in the memory lane of repeating your traumatic stories. You lower your energy field and make yourself fodder for those entities when you do that shit on a regular basis. Bear in mind that unless your vital force, your life force, and awakened center are intact, you endanger yourself, my loves, in re-traumatizing and reinfecting yourself and succumbing to demonic forces, sucking you into the matrix world of digitized, satanic shitstems and trapping you there. Okay, my loves, that is my speech. I hope you find this helpful. Please be kind to yourselves. Pay attention to how you are feeling. Pay attention and don't minimize your distress, okay? Please help me grow my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comments box below or in private. Please share this video with your communities, friends, family members, and on social media platforms you feel would benefit from this content. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that YouTube will let you know when I upload next. And if you find value, enjoy, benefit, or at least entertained by my content and videos, won't you please consider supporting my work through a donation? My PayPal link is right below, or you can support my work by buying me the proverbial cup of coffee, since I no longer drink coffee. The link is below. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, with your participation and focused attention. I really do appreciate it. I cannot do this work without you, and I do this work for those of you who know that you are so much more than what the Matrix tries to define you to only be. So until next time, my dear hearts, always act from love, outside of the Matrix, from your center screens, composing a new reality. That's right. Let's quantum jump our lifelines, going higher and higher and higher, so we can all be the love that we are. We can share our love. We can create, make art, make music, make love, and you can all help me repopulate the true quantum field creation field universe. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my beautiful waking gods and goddesses. Mwah!